Hi, so in this video I'm going to show you how to convert between units, specifically time and also using the metric system. So I'm going to start with time. So when talking about time, there's so many different units. You could use days, hours, minutes, seconds, milliseconds, and so on, larger or smaller. In this video I'm going to focus on 3 of them. So hours, minutes, and seconds. And then based off of our basic knowledge, in 1 hour we know that there is 60 minutes. In 1 minute there is 60 seconds. Show you how to do this through examples. And we're going to be actually canceling out units mathematically. So let's do the first example, and I'll explain how to do it. So if you want to convert 1,000 seconds to minutes, how would we do that? And if we look at our mini chart, obviously you would think to divide by 60, but I'm going to show you how to do it, but also canceling out units. So we're going to actually be multiplying fractions. So because this is a fraction and seconds is the top unit and there's no unit on the bottom, we can just write 1. And we want to convert it to minutes, and if you see, we have seconds on the top of the fraction, so if you want to cancel it out, it should be the denominator unit. And then because we want minutes, we would want to have it on the top so that it does not cancel out with anything. And then we know that in 1 minute there's 60 seconds. So now we can cancel out the seconds, and we're left with minutes. And again, when you're multiplying, it's going to turn into 1,000 times 1. So 1,000 minutes divided by 60, which is what we said earlier. And this does not have a unit, and this unit canceled out. And this should give you 16.67 minutes rounded. And then say you wanted to convert this 1,000 seconds into hours instead. How would we do that? And we want to convert this to hours. How would we do this? Okay, and obviously here between seconds and hours there's a whole other unit, so we will see how to solve that. So I'm going to start with 1,000 seconds, and so first what we want to do, okay, we want to convert it to hours, but actually because we can do it 2 ways. So we can either convert it, we can do the conversion in here through the minutes and seconds, because unless you know how many hours there are in how many seconds there are in 1 hour, then you could do it simply, but I'm going to show it so that we go off of the 3 basic units. So if we want to convert the seconds into minutes, we're going to do the same thing we did for the last example. So here we have 1 minute and we have 60 seconds. So we can cancel out seconds, and now we're left with minutes. And then now, because we don't want minutes, we want hours, we want to actually cancel out the minutes. So we're going to put that at the bottom. There we go. And we want hours, so we're going to write that here. And then in 1 hour, there is 60 minutes, which we know. So now we canceled out everything. We canceled out seconds, we canceled out minutes, and we're left with 1 hour, like an hour as a unit. So if we now multiply everything, so 1,000 times 1 times 1 hour, and then we divide by 1 times 60, and because the units cancel out, we do not need to write it. We can just now simplify. So it's going to be 1,000 hours divided by 60 times 60, which is 3,600. And then when we simplify this, we get 0.278 hours. And this is rounded as well. That's how you would convert. So this would be like when the units are right beside each other on like the scale. Or I can show you another way to do this. If you actually knew how many seconds there are in an hour, you can actually just do 60 times 60, and that's how many seconds there are in an hour. Then what you could do is 1,000 seconds. Actually, I don't have space. Wait. So if you knew how many seconds there are in an hour, or you calculated it in your head, it would be 1,000 seconds over 1, and you're going to multiply by, you want to cancel out seconds. So here, and then you would have 1 hour. And we calculated 3,600. Seconds cancel out, and then again it's 1,000 hours divided by 3,600. And if you notice, this is the same thing. It's just we put this extra step in here instead of just knowing it or putting it into our calculator. So you could do it either way, you would end up with the same answer. I will do one more example and then we'll go on to the metric system. So say the next example, we're given 23 minutes and we want to convert this minutes into seconds. Okay, so basically we're going to do the fraction thing again. So 23 minutes, and again we don't have a unit on the denominator, so we can just write 1, and we're going to multiply, and we want to get rid of minutes, so it's going to be at the bottom. And we want seconds, so it's going to be at the top. And the way you know which one is the 1, like 1 second or 1 minute on the fraction, the larger unit is the 1, so that the smaller unit can actually be a whole number. So 1 minute has 60 seconds in it. So then now we have cancel out minutes, and then now we have seconds as our remaining, and then 23 times 60 second over 1. And this makes sense because we're converting minutes to seconds. You're going to multiply by 60. This is, just a proof of how the units work out, and that gives you 1380 seconds. And if you want to convert minutes to hour, I will show you how to do that as well. So 23 minutes. We're gonna first, it's the same thing, sorry. So we want minutes on the bottom, and we want hour on the top. And because hour is larger, we're going to put 1 hour, and 1 hour has 60 minutes. And then we're going to now multiply, so minutes cancel, and then 23 minutes divided by 60. So 0.38 hours. And this makes sense because you're going from minutes to hour, you're going to divide by 60. This is just a proof of the units canceling out. And that's how you would cancel out units for time. And you can do this with like days. Like for example, in one day there's 24 hours. So you can just manipulate the units that way. So now we will go on to the metric unit conversion. So the way I like to remember is using this abbreviation. So King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So kilo, hecto, deca, and then the unit, and then so meters, and then deci, centi, milli. And then basically every time you're going, for example, if you want to get smaller in units, you're going to larger the number, so times 10. Whereas if you're going the other way, you want to make the units larger, you're going to make the number smaller, so you're going to divide by 10 each time. And then basically with this, it's the same conversion as time, it's just different units. So let's do an example. I'll do it on the next page. Okay, so say you want to convert, we'll start off simple. Say you want to convert 7 kilometers to meters. We'll write out our abbreviation so we remember. So it was King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. And the kilometers is actually here, and we want meters, which is down here. So we're actually going from a large number to a large unit to a smaller unit, so the number has to become bigger. So that's why we would know that you have to multiply. And then, so 10, and then again 10, and then again 10. So it would be 1,000. So basically we know that 1 kilometer is equal to 1,000 meters. Okay, so then that makes our life a lot easier when we're converting. I'll do it in blue, sorry. So 7 kilometer, again, we don't have a unit on the bottom, so we're going to write 1. And we're going to multiply. So we want to get rid of kilometers. So we're going to write kilometers, and we want to make it meters. And the larger unit is kilometers here, so 1 kilometer. And then we just said that 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters. So now kilometers cancels, and then we're left with meters. So basically now all we need to do is multiply and simplify. So 7 times 1,000 meters divided by 1. So this is just 7,000 meters, or 7,000 kilometers, sorry, yeah. And that makes sense because 1 kilometer has 1,000 meters, and basically just multiply. Let's do a little harder question. So if we had 123 centimeters and we want to convert it to hectometers, how would we do that? I'm going to write our thing again. So King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. So we're given centimeters and we want hectometers, so up here. So we're going from a small unit to a larger unit, so obviously we have to divide. And then you're going up by 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 would be 10,000. So divide by 10,000. Okay, so 123 centimeters over 1, and you're going to multiply by, okay, so 1 hectometer is the, so we want centimeters on the bottom, sorry, and hectometers on the top, and hectometer is larger, so 1, and then we just said that in 1 hectometer there's 10,000 centimeters. And then now we divide, because we can cancel centimeters, and then this becomes 123 hectometers over 10,000. And when we divide, we get 0.0123 hectometers. And basically, that's how you convert the metric system. It's the same thing as time, it's just different units. And because now we have the scale, we don't need to do the middle step. We can just go from one unit to the other. Whereas with time, you could have done it either through the middle step or not. Okay, and then now more advanced is when you have 2 units. So for example, in physics, there's many times many units. So for example, velocity, speed, acceleration, where the units actually end up having 2 units. So for example, velocity of 500 meters per second, or for example, when you go on highways or on the road, it tells you what speed to go at. For example, 60 kilometers per hour. We can convert between meters per second, kilometers per hour, kilometers per minute, and so on. And so this is actually where the unit cancellations come in very handy. So we're gonna do an example. Also important to have or memorize or know the mini conversion thing. King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Okay, so let's do an example where we have 500 meters per second and we want to convert that to kilometers per hour. These are the 2 most common conversions. Okay, so let's write this out. So 500, and again we're going to multiply, and basically what we want to do is we want to get rid of meters and we want to get rid of seconds. So when we want to get rid of meters, we have meters on the bottom, and then the one that's replacing it is kilometers. So we write that on the top. And then in 1 kilometer, how many meters are there? We did that in the previous question, which was 1,000, but I'll show you again how to do it. So we're in kilometers. I want to convert to meters, so 10, 100, 1,000, and because you're going to a smaller unit, the number is going to be larger, so you're going to multiply by 1,000. So that's why we know it's 1,000 meters. Okay. Then, now we canceled out meters. Now we have to do the time section of it. So we want to cancel out seconds. So we're going to put that on the top. And we want hours. And in 1 hour, how many seconds are there? So in 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. 60 minutes. There is, in 1 minute, there is 60 seconds. So 60 times 60 is 3,600. Okay, so then now we can cancel out seconds, and sometimes you would have to do this conversion of time on the side. So seconds cancel out now, and if you see, we're left with kilometers per hour. So let's simplify now. So it would be 500. So 500 times 1 kilometer times 3,600. And we're going to divide by 1,000 multiplied by 1 hour. So then now we can simplify. So 1,800,123 divided by 1,000. So this is kilometer. 1,000 hours, and then we simplify that, and we get 1,800 kilometers per hour. And that's the final conversion. Okay. I'll do one more example and I'll go a little slower. Okay, so we're gonna write down King Henry died unusually drinking chocolate milk. Okay, so let's say we want to go, this is a little bit more complicated, but 0.5 kilometers per minute into kilometers per hour. Actually, it is more complicated, but the units are actually simpler because kilometers are fine. So we want to convert the times. Okay, so what we're first going to do is we're going to write down what we know. So 0.5 kilometers per minute. And we're going to multiply that. Okay, so basically we don't want to get rid of the kilometers, so we're going to do nothing with that. We want to convert the minutes to hours. So cross multiplying, this means we need to cancel it out over here. And the bottom is what we need, which is hours. And then in 1 hour, there's 60 minutes. Again, the way you know which one to actually write is the larger one was always going to be 1, and then that way we know what the conversion is for the smaller unit. Okay, so then we can cancel out minutes, and then you can see we have hours on the bottom and kilometers on the top, so the unit, it simplifies to kilometers per hour. So simplified, this becomes 0.5 kilometers multiplied by 60 over 1 hour, which is 30 kilometers per hour. And that's basically how you convert between units. I'll show you the chart again. Here. It's the same concept. And when you cancel out units, you know for sure that you did it right. Whereas if you just go off logic, there's a higher chance of you making an error. But that is how you convert both time and using the metric conversion system through fractions and canceling out units. Yeah. Thank you for watching.